This is our cybersecurity education platform. We are Project CSE485 and our sponsor is Facebook Security.
To go into a little more detail about why we wanted to create a cybersecurity platform, I first want to give you guys an introduction as to why we chose this issue and how we want to solve it. So the problem is that many students have little to no knowledge about cybersecurity, and education is not very widely available. For example, if you're in college, a lot of times you can only take a security class your senior year, and even then it's an elective that you might not have time for. And any other resources that are around are very narrow focus, and they don't encompass a lot of different details. But the thing is, cybersecurity is essential because there's an increasing amount of information that needs to be protected, and more than 209,000 jobs in the US are unfulfilled, making a lot of programs insecure. And to solve this problem, my team realized we could do something. So we're collaborating with the Facebook security team to create an educational platform where users can host their own events and players can pick different keys and learn a lot about cybersecurity. And we're actually implementing this in middle schools and high schools and demoing it at a Women in Cybersecurity conference in March to see how it goes and to figure out any improvements.
So there'll be three different types of actors using our platforms. First is the player, who wants to use the platform to go through a series of challenges to collect keys and points. Next is the developer, the host, who wants to develop the platform to create a unique workshop. Next is the maintainer, the company in charge of maintaining the platform and keeping it up to date. Each one of these actors has their own set of goals. The player wants to be able to learn about cybersecurity concepts while having fun, give feedback on the platform, communicate and collaborate with the community that they're using the platform with. The developer, the host, wants to be able to set up the platform for a workshop, be able to easily access the platform for the workshop on the owner's side, and add questions to the platform with ease. The maintainer wants to be able to maintain the platform, facilitate the transition of platform ownership, and market and implement the platform at different workshops. We have outlined three major requirements that correspond to each actor. For the user, the main functionality is to answer questions, which allows the user to collect keys and gain points, which allows them to progress through the platform. We also have a user story and a user diagram of how the user would collect keys and gain points. The main requirement for the developer or host actor is to allow them to tailor their platform to their event by enabling them to add their own questions of different difficulty levels. For middle school, we would do research before developing questions to determine the skill level of the students, so that we wouldn't have questions that are too easy where the students get them immediately, or too difficult where they couldn't progress through the platform. For the main requirement of the administrator, we will be handing off this platform to Facebook, where Facebook has to find people or developers that will keep the platform up to date and running properly. For instance, with the current Facebook Capture the Flag platform, the maintainers kept being switched off, creating performance issues. The documentations that we provide will help us vet who can keep this platform running well after this capstone project has concluded.
Below is a high-level overview of our timeline. We spent the first few months planning with our sponsor, understanding who our target audience is, understanding if we're developing a new platform or if we're iterating upon an existing one, such as the Capture the Flag. And we were also deciding on the theme for the platform. After deciding the following, we went into the prototyping phase where we are actually developing our own platform with a comic book theme for a target audience of middle schoolers. This prototyping phase allowed us to instantiate a server, instantiate a database, and understand database design, as well as understand our front-end components and what features we really need to incorporate. And this now will be transitioned over to our development, where we're currently, the current phase we're in. And this is where we're going to actually be integrating our database, letting it be a standalone platform that people can use. And this will also enable us to further develop on the features and necessary components we need. After the development phase, we'll be going into testing. This will compose of live testing as well as technical testing, where we'll be developing unit tests to ensure that our platform is working properly, as well as live testing, where we'll be doing a dry run in February at a local middle school or high school. to allow and understand how students interact with our platform, understand what components and kinks we need to take out of it, as well as we'll be deploying this to different student clubs around ASU, as well as a Facebook security team until we actually go through our final run through at WISIS, which is the Women in Cybersecurity Conference in March. We'll be fully deploying this platform. We'll be working effectively. We'll actually be doing a competition at WISIS itself. And then we'll be doing a handoff to the maintainers and Facebook security team who will be taking care of this platform after we leave, as well as we'll be presenting this platform to the Facebook Tech Prep team to evaluate its effectiveness and have it be hosted and promoted by their server.
So this is the prototype of our platform so far called Escape the Mansion. Users can either log in or create a new sign up. It'll ask them if they're a participant or a host, and then they can click on which one they are and ask them to enter some login information. This is what the display looks like for a user at a workshop. They'll see their profile and they can click on their name where they can see more information about their self and some badges that they've earned through workshops. This panel is the announcements where the host will send out in real time announcements about what's going on during the workshop, and these will be in real time. This will show activities such as what other users are doing, such as earning badges and collecting keys. This is the leaderboard, which will show who's earning the most points during the workshop, and this will also be updating in real time. And this is the game clock, which will be counting down how much time left they have in the event. This is the main map, which is a map of the mansion that they're trying to escape. So they can click on different rooms on this map, which will pop up the questions that the host has created for each room, and these will have more specific titles here. So they can click on a question, which will show them the more description about the question, some more information such as points, how many tries they've taken, hints, and they'll type in their answer here, and they'll either see a correct pop-up or an incorrect if they got it wrong. So this is what a host view will look like. They also have a profile page here that they can click on their name to see some more information, such as how many workshops they've hosted, how many badges they've given out, and also more information here that will be added later on. So they can create a new event, add the name, some other information such as the duration, and event code, which will be used by the users to log in during the workshop. And once they create the event, the details will pop up on this panel, such as the name and the duration event code that they added. They can also edit this information later on. Some more information here, such as badges that the workshop will have, how many people have signed up, how many questions they've created. And this is the badges panel, which will show them the badges that they've created for the users to earn during the workshop. This is the questions panel, which will display all the questions they've added for the event. They can add the question, the title, the description, the points, and then they can select which room they want the question to be in.
Hi, my name is Anisha Gupta, and I contributed project management as well as development skills for this capstone group. For project management, I helped establish communication between the sponsor and our team, helped outline the needs, and we created a project based on the gaps we saw in the cybersecurity field. Helped establish bi-weekly check-ins, as well as set up our accounts with Google Drive, Quip, GitHub, so any necessary tools we needed to move this project forward and make sure that we're progressing at a good pace. Then I also helped coordinate different team roles that we had when we went into the technical portion. So we separated out into pairs. 2 people worked on the server, 2 people worked on our database, and 2 people worked on UI, UX. I was part of the server team. And so for development, I contributed, I explored different tools. I've actually been to a lot of different cybersecurity conferences as well as developer conferences and used that knowledge to help my team. We explored DigitalOcean, Heroku, SQL versus MongoDB, and really compare and contrast the different tools that we need. And in the end, we made informative decisions. And so I helped initiate our server on Heroku, where we were able to deploy a live prototype website that we have currently with the Heroku app. As development goes on further, I'll be working on unit testing and more QA analysis. And this will really be working with understanding the different nuances and how we can maintain and secure our platform that we create.
Hi, I'm Mira Benson. So some of the things that I contribute to the project was, first we created mock-ups on paper and we hand drew these to help us decide on which theme we wanted to go with. We had some ideas of having a haunted mansion theme, also a comic book theme. And after talking with our sponsor, we decided to go with a comic book theme because we thought it was more fun and bright and engaging. So once we decided with the theme, we translated it into a prototype in Photoshop, and we liked how it looked digitally. Once we finalized that, I put it into Axure, and we started creating a shell prototype that has some of the basic interactivity, and we got to kind of see what different interactions would look like. So I'm going to continue working on the front end of the program, making sure it functions and adding in some JavaScript functionality, and overall making sure the program is user-friendly and fun and easy to use.
Hi, my name is Sarah Falla, and my focus in the group was to create the user interface with Mira. So initially I explored the CTF program to understand how it works. We looked at the bugs, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, to help improve our version of the platform. And so after that, we started developing questions for middle school kids. We tried to think of what are some basic fundamentals that we would like them to learn with the CTF. And after that, I met up with Mira to work on the user interface. I focused on the profile page. I created a mock-up of the profile where you can create your bio, add your friends, and earn badges through all the workshops. And I helped Mira go over her design and understand the flow of our user interface and what is important for us to show and what is not important, so we don't have a cluttered program.
I'm Akila Morella, and I worked on server development and documentation. During the beginning of the semester, I first worked on documentation of our cybersecurity platform from the perspective of the user, developer, and maintainer. It is important to encapsulate all perspectives because we would like to pass our platform on to organizations such as Gen Cyber or TechPrep, and they would need thorough documentation to be able to maintain, add features, and implement our platform to the public. In addition, I worked on server development and maintainability. This consisted of first figuring out which server or platform we would use, such as AWS, Heroku, or DigitalOcean. We chose Heroku because it was very efficient and easy to deploy the server. Once we chose Heroku, we worked on deploying the server and integrating the front-end HTML pages from our front-end development team to create a functioning prototype that we showed our sponsor. Lastly, for the semester, I worked on setting up SQL with our server for our back-end development team to integrate their database with.
Hello, my name is Bhavna. Initially, when we started working in this project, I and my other team members had to explore the CTF program, which was developed by the Facebook, and understand it and come up with the ways to improve it. So what are the defects, or what can be improved. So after that, we had a meeting with our sponsor, and then we all came to a conclusion that, okay, so we have to decide on our roles, and me and Reese started working on the database design. So at first going through the ER diagrams, and then deciding to put it in an SQL format, and then bring up and then integrate the database to the platform and server. And also it's all in the back end. So by the next semester, we will be done with the SQL, and we'll bring our platform to the field. Yep.
Hi, my name is Reese Bailey, and my contribution to the group was to test and record the current Facebook capture the flag usability, to go and find bugs in their system and see where there were usability flaws that we can improve in our own platform. me specifically, my job is to work on the database planning and design, create ER diagrams, and see how entities are related. Then I'll, on the next iteration, integrate that into the platform. So we'll have a functional backend database. After we get the database integrated, then I will be helping develop user-based questions to fill the platform to start testing. And then after a few iterations of revising questions to make sure that we have proper questions to ask our users.